Parental controls only work under these conditions. Today, we're going to talk about what it actually takes to protect your kids online. And of course, stick around into the end because I always leave a little precious jewel you don't want to miss. I'm CyberFareedah and I help you protect your kids online. I'm also a Forbes 30 Under 30 honoree and an award-winning online safety educator. But before all of this, I actually was a kid. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. Like, I was a little kid once. I was 13 years old. I just decided to go on the internet. Well, actually, I didn't really decide. My parents gave me a phone, and they were like, after I begged them for many, many years to give me a phone. When I finally got hold of that phone, my mom was like, okay, now I'm letting you online. Now I'm letting you game. Here are some ground rules that we're going to establish. Don't talk to guys, don't talk to random people, don't talk to strangers, don't tell people where you live, don't send pictures, don't do all of those things, and don't share way too much information online. This was like a gaming site, so she was just trying to cover all of her bases. And one of the things that she did not include was parental monitoring and parental controls. I grew up with absolutely zero parental monitoring and zero controls. I don't know if that was completely intentional, but she had a lot of sugar I see in her life and in her mind, and she was just like, look, I have taught you enough up until this point at 13 years old. And she had this beautiful parental control, parental monitoring concept called God. So I grew up, I'm Muslim, and we believed in God, and she was like, look, anything that you do online, God sees and knows all, and he's going to tell me if anything that I need to know, he's going to let me know. And he sure did. So when things happened online that I was getting into things that I really wasn't supposed to be getting into, she knew it. She had a dream something happened, and she would wake up and she'd be like, something's a little off. I'm not really liking something. And she would take my phone and she would go through it. And of course, and if you're a teenager watching this or a parent watching this, they delete some apps so that you don't look at them. Number one condition you need to have in your household for parental controls to actually work is a safe and healthy environment. Because you might be thinking control. Honestly, I actually do not even like the name parental controls. I might do a video on this. Let me know in the comments if you actually like the name parental control, because I actually do not. Because it's this whole mindset of controlling and monitoring, and you have this sense of you can actually control what happens to your kids online. You cannot. No matter how much monitoring or parental controls that you have, you're not going to be able to completely understand every single nook and cranny of what your kids are doing. So in order to actually have these parental filterings or parental restrictions or guidance or settings to work in your family, you're going to have a safe space. One of the things my mother did to make sure that I was safe online was to create a space where I can talk to her about anything. Our relationship wasn't really close at that point, but we had a close enough relationship where I felt like if I could say something to her, I could actually come to her and I could talk to her of those things. So I had a pretty free childhood and I did whatever I wanted, but one of the things that kept me aligned was the values that I had as a family. And I honestly didn't want to completely disappoint my parents, even though I probably did a lot of things that disappointed them. But I really wanted to make sure that I was showing up as the best person that I could be. And so this is something in my background in teaching parents how to protect their kids online, incorporate cybersecurity awareness, threat intelligence, is the expectations of excellence of your kids. Don't expect them to do bad, expect them to do good. And then when they mess up, because they're humans and they're kids, you're there to support them. And you're not having an environment where they feel like, oh my God, I'm a bad kid because I slipped up, or something happened, or I saw something inappropriate, or I'm engaging in things inappropriate because I'm a kid and I'm growing up and I'm becoming a teen and that type of thing. So you don't want to have an environment in your household where they feel like they can't come to you when something is going wrong. The next foundation of protecting your kids online and making sure the parental filterings that you have inside of your household is actually working is called holistic online safety. You'll hear me talking about this a lot on my channel, and if you're subscribed to my TikTok or my YouTube, this is YouTube, oh my God. But if you're on my TikTok or Instagram, or you're in my email list, or you're a part of the Safe Kids movement, you hear me talk about the holistic online safety all of the time, because it is so essential to protecting your kids. Because we're getting into a universe where we're talking about the metaverse, we're talking about augmented reality, and we're going to be living in a space where tech is what we live and we breathe. So while there are going to be features and there are going to be controls, the most important thing is holistic online safety. So what does holistic online safety mean? It means giving your kids the freedom that they want and the safety and security that they need. So you're giving a harmony between both what they want and what they need. Because yes, they're really going to want freedom. And honestly, as they grow older, they're going to need freedom. It's going to become from a want to an actual need of it. And then even if you don't give it to them, they're going to take it. So just give them a little bit as needed, as they're mature enough, and allow them to explore the online space when they're mature. Now, you want to think about, should my kid actually even be on this app? That's a whole other conversation, because sometimes the parental controls are not enough because that's not an app where they're supposed to be on. Many times I see parents, they put their kids in environments, or they don't put their kids, but they let their kids in environments that are not meant for kids. They're meant for adults. So they're not going to be the effective parental controls and safety and security in the app because it was not meant for kids. Now, should the app make sure that kids are not on the app? Absolutely. They should be doing verifications and checks, and that's something that's really big in the industry and something that we always talk about. But in order for your kids to actually be in an environment that's as safe, you want to be in an environment that's actually made for kids to begin with. Another reason why parental controls do not work is because you are making a parental controls or parental monitoring the foundation of online safety for your house. You're thinking, okay, number one, I like this app, my kids like this app, my kids' friends like this app, and there are parental controls on this app, my kid is good for this app. I talk to them about like what not to do online, and we're totally okay. And that's good. The parental controls don't work effectively in that environment. Why? Because parental controls can never be the foundation of it. You want the foundation to be the connection that you have with your kids. You do not have to be all buddy going for ice cream every single day. You don't have to be like telling each other secrets, or well, not telling each other secrets to other people, but like confiding in each other. You don't have to have that type of relationship. What you have to have is a safe and healthy relationship. How do you develop that relationship? By first working on yourself as a parent, in healing yourself. Does this sound like woo-woo, juju, whatever? Probably, but guess what? This is what really it takes to actually protect your kids online. Because no matter how much parental controls or parental monitoring that you have inside of your household, you can be sure that they're going to be going to a friend's house or a family member's house, or they're going to go to school, or someone's going to introduce them to something that you were not prepared for. You're going to have a conversation that's really awkward for you. So you want to develop that internal safe space so that when your kid comes with these topics or something happens, when something happens, you're able to effectively have those conversations with your kids, and you're not like, oh my God, what is happening? And then you have a reaction where you have to apologize because of that reaction you had. I do want to say that if you're ever in a situation where your kid shows you something that is completely like, you're like, oh my God, how did you get into this mess? Please be sure to take a deep breath. Inhale, hold for 4, exhale for 4, inhale for 4, calm your system, self-regulation, be calm, approach it in a manner where they know that it is not their fault. Even if they're addicted to something that is X-rated or R-rated or whatever it is, they are a human being. They are not a bad kid. They are a human being. So approaching it that way. And you are also a human being as well. So if you have a reaction that you're like, oh my God, how did I have this reaction? I feel so bad. I feel so guilty. I shouldn't have had this reaction, but I was so mad. I was so upset. I was so frustrated. I don't understand what's happening. I'm trying to do everything, but they're doing everything wrong. I don't understand. Give yourself grace and come back to your kid and apologize. And there's a whole culture of like, oh my God, apologize to my kid. Why would I ever do that? Think of it this way. You're giving your kids the tools to be successful in a world where they must understand soft and hard skills in order to function in the digital space and in the outside space. Now, my expertise is not the outside space, so I'm going to really focus on the digital space, but that does translate. So when they do something wrong, they know, oh, I know how to apologize because my mother or my father or my aunt or uncle or cousin or sister or brother or whatever, they have modeled how to apologize to me. The first person that teaches them is a parent in their life. So if you're able to give them the tools to protect themselves offline and online, you are setting them up for success. It is okay if you're not perfect. It's actually perfect that you're not perfect, because guess what? No one's perfect. So you're showing your kids how to operate in an imperfect world as an imperfect person. So I just gave you all of the conditions that you need, or probably not all, but most of the conditions that you need to get started with protecting your kids online. Are there deeper ways to do this? Yes. Can you get support with doing this? Yes. That's actually exactly what I do for the parents inside of the Safe Kids Movement. So go ahead and head over to safekidsmovement.com or the first link in the description below. And if you have any questions, which I know you do, so ask me your questions below inside of the comments. Subscribe for more. If there's any videos that you would like to see from me or any steps or tutorials, whatever it is, let me know because I'm here for you. Again, have an amazing day. I'll see you next time. Bye.